saying, oh, that, you know, he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner. I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation for me. Like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying,
there's huge fights, and if that fight was
judge will throw them in jail if they don't give it to him right now, because he won. And when I watched it, I felt he won too.
Eddie Hearn didn't mince words after the Canelo versus Crawford decision. In his view, Canelo had done more than enough to secure the win, but the judges thought otherwise. Hearn was quick to brand the outcome a robbery, clearly frustrated with the final call. It was a controversial decision in an incredibly close matchup. While Hearn continues to stand behind Canelo, the boxing community remains torn, especially with Crawford's tactical execution being hard to ignore.
Can the state call for an immediate rematch? I don't believe they can, the commission. It's really up to the governing body. I mean, you know, the commission can overturn a decision or rule on a decision, but can they order a rematch? That really has to come from the governing body, the WBO.
To emphasize his take, Eddie Hearn made it clear he had no personal stake in the outcome. According to him, his opinion came purely from what he saw at ringside, with no bias involved. Hearn stood firm, saying he wasn't favoring either fighter and had nothing to gain from the result. From his perspective, it was an extremely close contest, but he believed Canelo had done just enough to deserve the win. Coming from someone with Hearn's experience in the sport, that's a bold viewpoint.
Just my opinion, I've got no horse in the race. It's like there's no agenda for me. I'm just telling you what I saw and felt at ringside, which was a very close fight.
Johnny Nelson highlighted the psychological struggle Canelo faced leading into the fight. It went beyond physical exchanges. This was about pride, legacy, and everything his name carried. According to Nelson, the pre-fight pressure and verbal jabs may have taken a toll on Canelo's mindset. In the end, Nelson suggested it wasn't Crawford's punches that did the most damage. It was the emotional weight Canelo carried into the ring.
Yesterday he said, I don't want to have egg on my face. I've got to get a job done here. So after the things he said the last time, he knows he probably mugged himself off. I think that probably hurt him more than anything.
Oscar de la Hoya didn't hold back. His reaction was passionate, raw, and straight from the heart. He'd been warning people about this outcome from the beginning, and now that Crawford delivered, de la Hoya is doubling down. For him, this fight was a turning point, a clear sign that Canelo's once unshakable dominance is starting to fade, while Crawford's legacy has just taken a massive leap forward.
I told you, motherfuckers. What did you just watch? I only speak the facts.
Teofimo Lopez offered a different perspective on the night. In his eyes, fans witnessed an incredible battle, two elite fighters leaving it all in the ring. And to him, Crawford clearly came out on top. For Lopez, all the talk about controversial scoring or a possible rematch fades into the background. Crawford had already made his statement, with both his performance and his presence.
It didn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight, did we not? And that's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said.
No, it was pretty, it was really good, actually. Yeah. So it's up to the jam.
Duke McKenzie didn't hold back. He called it exactly as he saw it. No sugarcoating. At the elite level of boxing, he said, there's no room for excuses. When you come up short, you face it, own it, and move on. And in this fight, McKenzie echoed what many have quietly been thinking. Crawford simply had Canelo figured out. This wasn't about luck or questionable judging. It was a masterclass of skill, timing, and preparation. For Canelo, there's no disgrace in losing, but also no space to cry foul. A true champion accepts the outcome, regroups, and recognizes when the better man won. On this night, Crawford was that man, and he left no doubt about his place among the greats.
Losing in a fight, never mind a world title fight, when you're losing a fight, full stop, you know, the best thing to do is to dry your tears and crack on. You know, you got to man up. Sometimes somebody just got your...
Duke McKenzie went a step further, turning the spotlight on the judges themselves. He pushed back against the criticism, reminding fans that these weren't just random observers. They are top-tier professionals, handpicked for high-stakes fights like this. While one judge's score might raise eyebrows, when multiple judges agree, McKenzie believes the result deserved respect. And in this case, they were unified. Crawford was a superior boxer on the night. All the robbery talk fades. He argued, when you consider Crawford's performance, his composure, precision, and ability to adjust throughout the fight stood out. McKenzie emphasized that while emotions run high at ringside, the scorecards reflect the cold, calculated work Crawford put in over 12 grueling rounds. To him, the decision wasn't controversial. It was a clear affirmation of who controlled the bout.
Talk about the ringside judges. They don't make things up. You know, they allegedly got the best of the best to referee and to judge that fight. So 3 judges, one can't get it wrong. One could possibly get it wrong, but the other 2 didn't. And
Gio Paya approached the fight with the keen eye of a true student of boxing, emphasizing why Crawford truly earned his championship status. This wasn't about overwhelming power or landing a single knockout punch. It was about adaptability, shifting stances, reading Canelo's timing, and responding to every change in pace. Crawford demonstrated a level of skill that clearly separates the elite from the rest. He wasn't just battling Canelo physically, he was methodically breaking down his reputation with a strategic, almost chess-like approach. Paya highlighted Crawford's exceptional boxing IQ, constant tactical adjustments, an array of tools, and the confidence to deploy them effectively. When a fighter can seamlessly switch from southpaw to orthodox, counter while retreating, and maintain control of the fight's rhythm, that's true mastery. That's precisely why Crawford emerged victorious. It wasn't luck or politics. It was skill at its finest.
On points, bro, crazy.
How did you have it?
I had him up, bro, convincingly. Awesome fight. Awesome. Hey, science of the sport. This guy adapts. I knew it.
How did you know he was going to win? Why?
He's got too much ammunition. You know, southpaw, orthodox, on the back foot. That's what changes good from great, is knowing how to adapt. You know, back.
Praise didn't stop with analysts. Even champions like Claressa Shields shared the sentiment. Shields responded with the passion of someone who truly recognizes greatness in the making. She believed that Crawford had everything it took to topple Canelo, despite the skepticism from many in the boxing community. For Shields, this moment wasn't about hype, it was about flawless execution. As an undisputed champion herself, her tension on fight night showed just how monumental the occasion was. But she had faith in Crawford's skill, mindset, and preparation. When he delivered, Shields wasn't just cheering a win, she was witnessing history unfold. Crawford didn't just defeat Canelo, he shattered expectations and solidified his place as a pound-for-pound king.
Man, I knew it already. I had
you as the face of boxing is because of that.
I saw how his body stood about 168. I'm like, y'all crazy. Skill. They always talking about size. Skill.
Thank you. Que viva México, cabrones! ¡Ánimo!
Now, congrats to Crawford for being the first male to be 3-time undisputed champion. I'm 4-time undisputed, but the first male to do it is Terence Crawford. Then against Canelo. Oh my. I was nervous, but I knew he could do it.
Claressa Shields posed the biggest question following Crawford's monumental victory. What's next for him? After conquering Canelo at 168 pounds, the landscape of boxing seems wide open. Shields pointed out how sharp Crawford looked throughout the fight, defying doubts about his size and power at super middleweight. He showed that elite skill, timing, and strength can cross weight divisions seamlessly, a true hallmark of all-time greatness. Now, the real debate begins. Should Crawford stay at 168 to defend his title against new challengers, or drop back down to 154 and dominate there as well? Shields framed it perfectly, reminding everyone that Crawford's path forward is full of possibilities. When a fighter can adjust across weight classes, dismantle legends, and still look in control, you know history is being made. Fans aren't just debating if Crawford is great. They're excited to see where his greatness will lead him next.
Look at me, he hasn't been pushed that hard in years, though. Crawford did.
So what's next with Crawford? Should he fight?
Why not?
Exactly.
Who can beat Terence Crawford?
Whoa. Should he stay at 168 pounds or go back to 154?
The way he looks tonight, he can do what he wants.
Sean Porter looked beyond the punches and highlight moments to focus on the deeper aspects of the fight. He saw this bout not just as a test of physical skills, but as a battle of mindsets. While Canelo's legendary chin has always been a major asset, Porter emphasized that it's more than just toughness. It's about mentality and an unyielding will to persevere. Crawford matched that mental strength with his own unwavering resolve. Porter highlighted qualities often overlooked by fans: the patience to wait for the right opening, the toughness to take hits, and the discipline to maintain composure under pressure. The key difference, he argued, was Crawford's ability to combine those intangibles with sharp adaptability and high ring IQ. While Canelo was defiant, Crawford remained calculated and consistently a step ahead, which ultimately swung the fight in his favor. Porter's perspective reminded us that greatness isn't just about the visible skills, but also about the mindset. And in this battle, Crawford's mental edge was just as decisive as his physical talent.
It's more than skills paying the bills with this one, man. I think that there's some intangibles with this fight that are internal, the stuff you don't see. And like, for an example, we can talk about Canelo's chin. Is it that he just really has this chin that's really sturdy? Or is it that he has a chin that's sturdy, but he also has a mentality that I won't go down? You know what I mean? Like, that's when I mean like internal intangibles. And I think that both these guys possess a tremendous amount of skill, talent, abilities that, to the naked eye, you aren't really aware.
Porter wasn't finished yet. He tackled the long-standing debate about size and weight. For months, critics insisted Crawford would be outmatched by Canelo's natural physical advantage at 168 pounds. But Porter had confidently dismissed that narrative from the start, and fight night proved him right. Crawford didn't just hold his ground physically. He appeared stronger, quicker, and more conditioned than anyone anticipated. Porter brushed off the usual post-fight excuses about reach, height, or a few extra pounds. Boxing goes far beyond physical measurements. It's about timing, movement, and precision. Crawford demonstrated that sheer muscle and bulk don't win fights. Intelligence and adaptability do not be why comfortably making weight and carrying his speed effortlessly across divisions. Crawford shattered the myth that Canelo's size was unbeatable. Porter's message was clear. When the evidence is on display, excuses fall away. Crawford conquered the super middleweight class without missing a beat.
As I told everyone, the weight is not a problem. The size, stop talking about it. It takes you guys waiting until you see weigh-in day and the day before the weigh-in, and somehow you're now seeing that he's an inch or two taller than Canelo, and somehow now you're considering his reach, and somehow now you're considering, oh, he weighed in at 165, and oh, he's been hitting the weights like Sean said. Yeah. The weight's not an issue. The reason why the weight's not an issue is because most welterweights are middleweights that cut down to welterweight.
This fight was about much more than Crawford simply defeating Canelo. It was a moment that reshaped boxing history. Crawford rose to the occasion, silenced his critics, and demonstrated that skill, intelligence, and relentless determination can overcome size, hype, and legacy. Should Crawford stay at 168, the entire division will have to adjust to a fighter unlike any other, one who evolves and adapts at every turn. And if he moves back down in weight, he still carries the undeniable aura of the man who toppled a legend. For Canelo, this loss cuts deep. It's not just another blemish on his record. It cracks the invincible image he's maintained for more than 10 years. Now the question is clear: who has the greater hunger going forward? Crawford has proven his desire is fierce, but can Canelo bounce back and reclaim his place? Where do you stand? Are you convinced Crawford is the undisputed pound-for-pound king, or do you believe Canelo will rise again? Share your thought below.